And so like
Yeah.
I mean, they have literally decisively told me you don't need to give us any more money. You don't need to F with us anymore.
Can
You're good. You can just cut clean. You're good to go. And
uh,
like it's gonna be a mass exodus. I
yeah.
mean, I think a lot of us are bought in to like I'm bought in to Game Pass for like 2 more years because I do like the Black Friday when the
Deal.
cards are like what they used to cost basically.
Yeah.
So I'm like bought in for 2 more years. But let me tell you what, if I was paying month to month for Game Pass, I mean when I roll credits on Hellblade 2, I'd be canceling it. As soon as I rolled credits on Hellblade 2 in May, my Game Pass subscription would be over, and I would not be resubscribing because I know that all the games are going to eventually come to PlayStation. And why do I want the footage in the background is my Starfield playthrough, when I first started playing the game, checking it out in 4K. Like, I've got 30 hours in that game. I'm going to have to restart that now on PlayStation 5 because I want to be able to have my save that it will inevitably have, 120 hours or whatever of Bethesda RPG goodness on the PS6 and in the PlayStation ecosystem because there is no Xbox ecosystem. They just told
there's
me
going to
that.
be there's still
But
going to be an
there
Xbox
isn't, though.
ecosystem.
Like,
because
it's not
PlayStation is now
appealing.
part of the Xbox ecosystem. That's what this move is.
Right, but the save is how.
Yeah.
So what?
That's
I'm
just
going to
the
be able to
thing.
bring my
That's
save
just the
over to
thing. That really
PlayStation?
doesn't
That's
mean
not going to
anything.
happen.
It's just the reality of
That
what it
doesn't
is.
mean anything. Just because you say
No,
something
I don't
is
say it.
part
That's
of,
what Microsoft is saying. That's
Yeah.
what Phil says. They count Steam Deck. They count PlayStation. They count all of this as a part of their ecosystem.
But
And as long as you're engaging with their
Yeah.
ecosystem, that's what they want.
It-
And that's what they've said very clearly to me.
okay, so this is what it is. They've only said these things when they were in a position when they were not in a favorable position, right? That was their way of coping and trying to get us to you know, these guys are good at words to where they give you talking points. They give you the talking points. For example, I remember they said, um, what was this? There was this one saying that I always kind of tease Phil Spencer about, and you always put these buzzwords out, and then so people rally behind that, and they go out in the public and they speak this, but then behind the scene you're doing something different. And when that the user exclusives matter until they didn't have exclusives, right? And then it became about user engagements until they didn't have the user
Right.
engagements, and then they changed that into it's about the ecosystem until they realized nobody was doing that, and they'll always find some kind of other way to spend it. That's why I see it for what it is. As a gamer, how does it fit with me? How does it resonate with my friends and family and things like that? There is no way to spin this. There is no logical way to spin this. The fact is, it's driven by money, but it's driven by unnecessary money because they are the de facto world's richest company. They
Yeah.
just bought one of the world's biggest company. They had the world's largest acquisition for video games. It's just so many big things that just happened, and for them to say to their fan base, now I'm speaking for the average Xbox guy, for them to say, hey guys, thank you for rallying behind us, for supporting us for all these years. But guess what? You don't matter. You know who matters? The Nintendo fan base and the PlayStation fan base. They're finna get all your games. They're finna get all the perks. And guess what? Their games, 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to run better. It's probably going to have the dual sense haptic feedback support. It's probably going to have the 3D audio, the instant loading. Guess what? The PS5 Pro coming out. Guess what? It's going to have the all kind of other stuff because they, at this point, they have no incentive to make a game run worse on PlayStation, right?
It's
Because
just like
where they
Uni.
want to go.
It's just like Uni Sensei said in the Twitter space earlier when you were talking to him, Brian. If they give us our money back, we're all good. We're fine with Microsoft.
They're not
Xbox.
giving the money back. This
Exactly.
is a money play.
So they can go to hell. Like that's how we feel at this point. Like they can go to hell. And
That's how
ain't
you feel
ain't nobody paying for Game Pass and buying Xbox games anywhere unless it's on the PlayStation Store. Like that's how it's gonna be. Like
Or
it's
on
like
PC,
that now because
or
they
on
did it
cloud.
to us like that. I mean, sure, whatever. But as far as the people that game in their living room that either own an Xbox or a PlayStation or both, we're not messing with Xbox anymore.
What if the
and they
PlayStation
will
6 is
see that hit.
$1,000?
They will see that hit.
People
they
will
will
buy it.
feel it.
People will buy it.
The
Well, people will
Game
buy it,
Pass
but
the Game
price
Pass
is a barrier
subscription
to
is going to
entry.
go down.
But not
It's
because
not going to stay
Xbox.
stagnant or go up. It's going to go down. They're going to feel that hit this month. they're gonna feel that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
and they
can't
know
fear
they're
monger.
gonna feel that.
We're not going to fear monger and say because Microsoft made the decisions that they made, well, now Sony is all of a sudden going to jack the
Oh,
price.
no,
of the
I'm
consoles
not
up
making
like
the
they
argument that they're going to jack.
No,
the
no,
price
no,
up
not
because of
not from
Microsoft.
you.
I'm talking
I
I've
mean,
about.
heard that.
you said on Twitter, you're like, well, the PS6. What if it's $1,000?
And
And
I
I was
just
like,
said
I'm
that here
not,
in this
I'm not
podcast.
touching that.
No. It's and I'm bringing that up because of Moore's second law, the massive increase of doubling of costs for to be able to produce that level of power. And something has to give. Either you have to migrate to the cloud so you can offset that cost. You have to use some form of cloud compute so you can keep the base hardware, the local hardware, as cheap as possible, because it is still about mass adoption. They don't want to sell less consoles, especially PlayStation. So the question is, as a theoretical, I don't know if they're going to raise up the price. They could just end up raising up the cost of video games to like they even were talking about $150 from Sony. They, like maybe games will cost $150. They already do if you actually buy the, like the full edition.
Everybody, listen. There was this discussion back when before GTA 6 trailer came out. There were rumors that GTA 6 was going to be $150. Everybody, there was no outrage. Everyone said, "I'll buy it. I'll buy it."
Yeah.
So I don't want to
Good,
hear.
gamers will game.
If a game is good, people will buy it. People
Yeah.
buy collector's editions and the top premium of all the time. Call of Duty every single year. The same person buy the top tier, freaking Call of Duty. All of that. Listen. Gaming is an expensive hobby, and gamers there's unlimited amount that people will pay for a great console and great price. It's just unfortunate that Microsoft had the cheapest console on the market for $139 this holiday season, and they really didn't sell anything. And according to Jess Corden, that's part of the reason they see nobody's buying these consoles.
Yeah. Well, and they're not selling consoles because they have been signaling that there's no reason to buy the console because they don't have those. And again, that's where I think that we'll see the timed exclusive where you could play first on the next Xbox or play first, but they want to shift you. Well, it didn't matter. As an option to the gamer.
People,
you want that
99% of people will just sit there and just wait.
And exactly, but
so why even do that?
Is
day and date and call it a day. You did day on PC.
Okay.
You clearly,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Hey, you get to play it here first on Xbox. Like people are not gonna. We're busy playing other games. We can wait 3 months, 6 months. PC guys, freaking Kirk will sit around and wait for 2 years to play The Last of Us on PC. So you don't think these guys will wait a couple of months to that? They effectively have killed the Xbox console.
It's Jover. It's Jover, J-Dub.
It's over. There is no logic. There's nothing they can do. Even if they come out today and say, "Hey guys, we're backtracking. We have a change of direction. We're gonna guess what? It's over." They let it sit out too long. People don't trust them. In the future, sometime they'll flip flop again, and they'll end up there. The mind share all of the mind share is out the door. This week and last week was probably the biggest win for Nintendo and Sony by doing absolutely nothing. They didn't have to do nothing. They just sat back and watched Microsoft shoot themselves in the foot and effectively kill off their consoles.
I still
Sony came out with
the biggest win for Microsoft as well, but it's their.
Oh my god, dude!
This is huge for Microsoft.
No, they're done, dude. Are you kidding me?
Somebody clip this because I'm going to give this clip.
That's
to him
fine.
That's
totally fine.
All of a sudden, Microsoft is a $6 trillion company or a $10 trillion company. And people are still buying their games.
That. They didn't get that way from Xbox. They got that way from everything else.
We don't care. We don't care if they go make a lot of money.
Revenue. No, I'm talking, Kirk. 1 second. Their gaming division now is their third largest revenue